All right, so this is a video on the half-face portrait, okay? The half-face portrait, the concept here is that you're gonna take a picture of yourself, or you can also do this with, another person, like you could do a famous person or something like that if you want to, okay? The skill that I'm looking for here, this is we're using the pen tool, we're using shape builder tool, all those kind of pieces that we've been working on to kind of come together to make something out of this, okay? So on half of the face, it is going to be a recreation of that person, okay? Whether it's you or somebody else, this half or whatever is going to be kind of a stylized design version of that person, okay? And then from this side over is going to be more of a kind of what represents that person. If you're doing a famous person, then what are the things that that person identifies? When we think about that person, we think about these things, okay? If you're doing yourself, then it can be things that you're interested in, maybe things that people don't necessarily know about you, okay? So when I've done this in the past, it's kind of like, this is how people see you, and then this is how you see yourself, okay? So the example that I have here is of myself, okay? And this was my beard back in the day before COVID and all that stuff and masks and everything. I had a glorious beard, and one day I will have it again, okay? And so then you're going to, what I would do is I would start off by cutting off half of the design, okay? So I don't need all of this. I only need half of the face here, okay? So around the middle of the nose, I'm gonna cut that off, okay? And then I would change the opacity of my picture. So bring that down just a little bit, okay? That makes it easier to trace, kind of easier to see my lines as I'm drawing, okay? And then I'm going to lock this in place. I can select both of these and go to Object Lock Selection, or Control 2, okay? So now when I zoom in, I can start just drawing out the pieces. I'll move myself over here so we can see our toolbar. I can start drawing out the pieces, like I'm gonna do the beard, okay? And so I'm gonna draw, and I'm not gonna get every single strand of hair, good grief, who's got time for that, okay? It also doesn't really match with the kind of minimalist style that I'm working with, all right? And I get up here and I can't see what I'm doing anymore, so I'm gonna go over here and flip that. So now my outside color is white, okay? And just like we did with the pen tool before, I don't like that. Click and drag, we can go back and change it later if we want to. Okay, click and drag. All right, and I can come back and modify it as we go. All right, but something like that. And so now I have a shape. I've made a shape because I've gone all the way around with it. And so I'll click off of this and click back on it. Let's drop the outline color and let's make the inside color. Let's go for this. Oh, that's too dark. Okay, something about like that. Okay. So I'm getting the pieces of this design, okay? I'm drawing my hat, I'm drawing my eye, I'm drawing my nose, my eyebrow, okay? I'm zooming way too close for the internet on my eye here, okay? Click and drag, click and drag. I need to flip that, click and drag, okay? Something like that. Let's make the inside, click off of it, click on it. Make the inside be white, okay? I might even send that to the back. And then I can do my circle for my eye, right? I can just draw a circle and then use the shape builder tool. Hold down Shift, shape builder tool to get rid of that top part there. Okay, all right. So what I did there was I drew my outline, I drew my eye, and then I selected both of them and used the shape builder tool to cut that part out, okay? Just click and it makes a shape. All right, so I'm gonna go through and draw all of these pieces. Draw your nose, draw your eyebrow, okay? Whatever hat, whatever you do. If you're using a picture of somebody else, make sure you get one where they're looking straight on, because if you take a picture of me and I'm looking this way, it's kind of hard to draw a line down the middle, okay? So make sure you're getting a straight on view. If you're doing a picture of yourself, don't do something with a bunch of Snapchat filters and all the little dog ears and flowers and all that stuff, okay? Because that's gonna give you a design that is, that's fine for all of that filter stuff to be on the side that's not you, but then on this side, you want it to be things that actually do represent you, okay? And so then you can go and Like for example, I did, so to kind of show you the finished version, because I'm running out of time here. So I went around, drew all of those pieces out, okay? And I can select all of this and delete that. Okay, so you're working with something like this. And then you want to fill in the other pieces, and you want to keep that kind of symmetrical style, possibly. It's your design. You can do whatever you want. And there's our bell. Okay, so, sorry. So for me, when I did this one, I've got my Fez up here from Doctor Who. I've got my tiger from the mascot where the high school where I work. And also this is from the Buy Local campaign that I did, okay? So this is kind of the same shape, size, whatever, of the beard, and you can see that there's actually more pieces to it, okay? And I've got more pieces to this, okay? I did another one of these where I had, I used the design, used the shapes that I had, and just filled that in with pieces, okay? So you can either do it as abstract objects, or you can actually create those shapes. And so I have, different things. This is from Doctor Who, Mohawks, Portal, all that type of stuff, okay? So that is the short version of how you would do this. If you need help with specifically how to use the pen tool to draw these pieces out, I can help you with that, okay? But take a picture, get a picture of somebody else, okay? Lock it, change the opacity, then lock it, okay? Trace it out, and you're only tracing half of it, all right? And then on the other half, you can do things from the internet, okay? So like I was messing around with my 20-sided die here because I've gotten into Dungeons & Dragons recently, okay? And so I could take this object and maybe use this as my eye if I wanted to, okay? So you can bring images from the internet and you can image trace things if you are, that's kind of cool. You can do image trace and bring objects in from the internet for the other side, okay? But this side, I don't want you to do image trace, okay? The side that's the stylized version of yourself, don't use image trace, okay? So hopefully that helps. Stop. And you stop now.